All right, time now for our studio conversation. And in studio with us this morning, we'll be speaking to Esther Otieno, who is the CEO of Wide Shoe Limited, as well as Sabina Njonjo, who is her co-director at Wide Shoe Limited. And this is a fast-growing footwear company in the country, catering for Kenyan women's needs, especially those with large and wide feet. And many of us can identify with that struggle. So thank you so much for joining us in studio, ladies.
Thank you.
Let me begin with you, Esther, being the CEO. What inspired this idea of starting a footwear company in the country?
Wow, thank you. What inspired me was my own struggles. Yeah, growing up, my foot tended to grow very fast. And with time, I could not find any shoe that could fit me. So that was mainly the inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we can all identify with that. But Sabina, you look pretty small. What's your interest in this?
Small but wide. Getting a shoe that could actually fit my width wasn't easy.
Yeah. So why was it? Why was it so hard to get those shoes in the country? And what gap is it that you're bridging? Where are you getting these shoes, first of all?
I think for the longest time, the market catered for the people who had the smaller fitting. And over time, a lot of people started realizing that there is the gap with the bigger sizes, but the shoes were not available. And so sometimes you would just go to the shop and find that the shoe that is available, it doesn't have the width. And that's where Wide Shoe comes in, because as we cater for either the small ones and the very big ones, but also take care of the width. Right, and so they have sizes as well.
So the thing is then, if you're catering for Kenyan women and African women, so to speak, where are these shoes manufactured?
If you look at, from a global point of view, the people who have also the bigger fitting shoes and the wider fitting shoes are mainly in the America or the UK. So most of the companies where we get our shoes are domiciled in those particular zones.
Right, I mean, and isn't that the same place that the smaller shoes are also got from? Because speaking to you earlier, talking about the fact that manufacturing shoes in Kenya is really expensive. Why is that, Sabina?
That's because, first of all, getting the materials, the machineries and all that stuff, and also labor is quite expensive. So, and also these brands are American brands. So for us, we will get there someday. Yeah,
because that's a bigger question. Why are we not supporting, manufacturing in Kenya? And why is it so hard to get these materials? Because this is what? Is it leather?
Yeah. Yes, this is leather.
Right. I mean, it would be expected that it's easier to do this in the country. But what difficulties, especially, just to be more specific, Esther, would get into manufacturing shoes in Kenya?
I think primarily is the economies of scale and also the capacity. The capacity of the particular company that wants to manufacture locally. Are the finances available? Yeah, because you require quite a big financial in-rate for you to be able to manufacture shoes locally.
All right. So what makes you different then from other footwear companies in the country?
Yeah.
What makes you different?
Oh, good. Where we are different is because we cater for a specific niche in the market. We cater for people who are looking for comfort, for people who are looking for wider fitting shoes, and for people who are also looking for elegant corporate office or casual.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So Sabina, talk to us about what we're seeing here, because we have a display of some of what you have to offer.
Yeah.
Quite a large range, but just maybe to describe what we have here.
Yeah. So this shows you one of our very biggest sizes that we have. This is a size 12 American.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and it's also...
It would be difficult to get that.
Really. Yeah, but Wide Shoe sorts that. This is a 44, so that people out there get to understand what 12 American is.
Right.
It's a size 44. And
actually, let's talk about that sizing of shoes, because many times people end up with cones on their feet because of wearing the wrong size shoe. But many times people know their shoe size. It's just they don't know if it's UK or US or what 44 means when you translate it to Kenya. So what do you take into consideration when
actually what results into cones is you don't get your width. Like I told you, I'm not a very big size, but I'm wide. What was available in the market is if I don't get my size 8, I'll have to move to the next size, which doesn't cater for the width.
Right.
So definitely I'll still get the cons. But for us, you get your From the very smallest, this is actually not our smallest, we have smaller than this. Regardless of your size, there are people who are narrow, medium, wide, and extra wide. So if you're size 4, we have like 5 different wings for different
So there's not just wearing it and hoping it's going to expand with your foot with
yes,
time.
yes, yeah.
And also on top of that, there's also the 0.5.
Yes.
You know, the extra wings. So for example, if you are a size 4 and you are a little wide, so you can have a size 4.5 wide. So it makes sure that the shoe is not so long, but the width is catered for. So then the cone issue is catered for as well.
All right, and I will just keep explaining what we have here, because I'm also noticing that, first of all, your shoes are not very high in terms of the heel for the high heels, and they're rather wide as well for the sole. Why is that?
And if we have high ones like this, or like the one I'm wearing right now, it has to have this platform. So it balances the weight and also balances the heel to toe balancing, such that it will not hurt your back.
Right, so talk to us about that, because many times we also don't understand that as women. You know, the higher the shoe, the better you look sometimes, but the comfort is important, and also the way the shoe is structured. So just talk to us about that and some of the health problems that come with uncomfortable high heels.
Okay, like for wide shoe, we are very specific with how our manufacturers make the shoes. We normally go for something we call the N5. And the N5 stands for contouring, meaning, cushioning, meaning that the shoe has to be very well cushioned. And the cushioning is 3 levels. There's a cushioning on the ball, that is where the most pressure is exerted. And then there's a cushioning on the arc. The arc is this part of your foot. So there is also ample cushioning there on the arc. As you can see, this particular shoe, there is this cushioning on the arc, and then the heel, because from heel to toe, there need to be enough cushioning, so the entire shoe is well cushioned. On top of that, there's something else we call balance, so that you're able to walk in balance, so that you're not tilted to one side, or you're moving forward or moving backwards. So there's that element of balance. There's also breathability. There are sometimes you put on shoes, and then you realize that your feet is wet, or it's really, really uncomfortable. It's because there's no breathability in that shoe. So the shoe has to also have the element of breathability and also flexibility, so that when you're walking, the fabric that has been used or the leather that has been used is not very tight for you. So that we call the flexibility. And last but not least is the lightweight.
So there's a lot to consider when buying shoes. I mean, it's just not getting the one that fits best. So like you said earlier, you cater for various, different ranges, different varieties. But what kind of designers do you carry at Wide Shoe Limited?
Naturalizer brands, Franco Satos, Life Strides, Soft and Soft Spots. Those are the main brands that we have. That provide the comfort and the quality we look for.
So why did you decide this and not the very extravagant heels and just very outrageous looking high heels? Why did you decide this?
Because we also wanted to offer the ladies something that they can put on the whole day. They can go to work with it. They can go for dinner with it. They don't have to keep wondering when am I going to get home or get to a comfortable place to throw away my high heel.
So we have several spare shoes in the car.
Or in the handbag. I mean, it's a struggle.
So we cater for someone who is looking for comfort the entire day. You're able to walk in this. You're able to do every other day activity from morning up until evening. And of course, the range is also rather wide. I see the high heels, but there's also some flat shoes on that end and sports shoes, some boots as well. How affordable are these shoes in terms of range and price?
Going by the brands and the quality of the shoes, prices are very fair.
Very
even
fair.
Going by the feedback we get from our clients.
So give us a price range. What are we talking?
So we are talking between 5,000 up until 8,000 in between.
For most of these shoes?
For most of the shoes. The boots are about between 10,000 to 15,000 shillings.
All right. Let's talk quality once more. You've mentioned you're very particular on quality, especially from your manufacturers. But then again, this doesn't come from Kenya. Understandably, because it's rather expensive. But how is the market in the country in terms of competition?
Actually, I think our main competitors are second-hand traders in terms of shoes, because before white shoe came about, many people who look for this kind of shoes used to go to Mtumba. Yeah, so actually those are our main competitors, I would say.
I mean, there's exhibitions, and there's also a crop of Kenyans who are trying to manufacture shoes from Kenya, and it's something we cannot run away from, something that can be lauded, of course. There's been complaints of quality, but they're coming up. Are they coming up as for competition as well?
Yeah, it's anyone in the shoe business is competition for you, but it's just how
direct,
and how you emerge to offer a different solution, how do you differentiate yourself from what else the competition is doing.
All right. And I understand you're very fast growing. How many stores do you have currently?
We are having 6 stores. Yeah, we have 2 at the 2 rivers, so we can call that 7 stores.
7 stores already.
Yeah.
All right, and of course, in terms of reception to the market as well, how has that been?
It's been pretty encouraging, especially from our clientele that was not catered for there before, the wider fitting and the bigger sizes. It's been quite a good reception, and that is why our outlets have continued to increase, and we look forward to serving a bigger part of the Kenyan market.
All right. And I just wanted to focus, because somebody here is asking, the problem of not getting your right width for your shoe, and that comes with the cons that we've been talking about. But what other issues can arise from wearing shoes that don't fit you right?
Back pains, especially if the heel height to the toe is not quite well balanced. That it may not happen right now, but in future you'll suffer back pains. So that's one of the health issues that incorrect shoe could come.
And of course, we also have retailers that sometimes offer solutions even that come with their shoes. I'm not really sure what they're called, but several bands that you can put in your shoes or to help your soles. Do you offer that as well?
Yeah, we do, and that is mainly to enhance the cushioning. And what you're talking about is usually insoles that come in the shoe. You are able to put an insole inside the shoe.
Right.
And primarily what the insole does is to just create more balance and more cushioning for the shoe. So even those particular accessories, we offer them at Wide Shoe.
All right, I'm looking at your website and I'm seeing quite a big range here, but I don't see any men's shoes. Do you cater for men?
Yes, we do cater for men's shoes. Currently, we only do very big sizes, sizes 10 up to 16, in about 20% of our inventory.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that because like you said, you're catering for the Kenyan woman and the African foot, so to speak. So is that the average size for a Kenyan man, 10 to 16?
Not really. I would say those are the people who are not catered for. Yeah.
All right. So what challenges would you say, Esther, as the CEO, you've faced while doing this business?
Okay, for me, I think the biggest challenge is financing, in terms of when you're trying to really grow your business and you want to incorporate all the elements that fit into the puzzle. So when you're talking about effective marketing, you want to reach out to a bigger clientele of people and the finances are a bit low. For me, that is the main challenge.
Now, what has been your marketing strategy? I mean, considering that we have social media now that has made it very easy.
Yeah, that has been called an opportunity for us. So we've maximized heavily on social media. So we are heavy on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Yeah, just all the digital marketing that bit we have tried as much as possible to be.
All right, so where can guys reach you as well in terms of availability? There are those who are not in Nairobi. I understand most of your stores are in Nairobi. How can they access your services?
We have an online store. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we have a website. So we deliver.
All right, so what is the website?
www.wideshoecollection.com.
Facebook and Twitter?
Wide Shoe Collection for Facebook, at Wide Shoe Collection Twitter, at Wide Shoe IG.
All right, thank you so much. I wish you give me an incentive for our viewers this morning to win or get a couple of shoes. But thank you so much for speaking to us. If that is still open, it would be great to have our viewers get a few shoes.
Maybe I could just say something about this sportswear. We recently introduced a Rika brand. This is a women, exclusively for women. It's made with a woman's body structure in mind. We have a number of styles: dancing shoe, gym shoe, running shoe, and hydro sport. A hydro sport is the one you run into water, get out, and
I think we need to discuss that just before we wind up.
Yes.
What is the difference between all those? Because I would see this and think, great, I can do this for sports, I can do this for running.
And it's quite light. I would like you to hold and just get to feel.
What is the difference between all of this for dancing, for sports, for the hydro shoes? What is the difference? And how does one pick one?
Okay, basically those are different activities. And they exert different pressure onto you, onto your feet.
Right.
So that is why, like for Rika, they went ahead and manufactured shoes for women specifically for the different kind of activities that you're going to do. So even when you look at the shoe, the sole of the shoe for a dancing shoe and a water sport shoe are different. So for example, the water shoe has perforations and the walking shoe, for example, does not have any perforations, so that the grip that it gives onto you is comfortable, so that then you don't have to either slide or the like. All right.
So a lot of consideration for the comfort of your customers. So thank you so much for speaking to us. That is Esther Otieno, who is the CEO of Wide Shoe Limited, and her co-director Sabina Njonjo, and they're both from Wide Shoe Limited, a fast-growing footwear company in the country that is catering for the needs of the Kenyan woman. So it is now 20 minutes past the hour. You're watching Weekend Express. We take another short break, but do stay with us. So when we come back, we have more news for you, and later on we'll be speaking to Oscar Omoke, who is the aspirant for the Langata parliamentary seat under the ODM ticket.